account. The Rosted account is completed. Everything is good. Now we just was learning to finish up and it starts now very normal. Then we can now get the EA again. Connected on master to see how forward. And then once it's good for trading, then we can use it as an subscription. So yeah, secondly, I said if you are hoping also for trading, or I know if you are hoping for trading. So let me know. I'm
Good
trying to
morning.
as well as this.
Good morning. Please, welcome to today's class here. Please let me know if you can hear me on before people get in so much. Can you guys hear me? Samson, Yusuf. Good morning to you too. Can you hear me, please? Yes, louder. Do you mean I should speak louder or you can hear me loud? All right, very well. Okay, so let's just give a minute or two for people to join in. Oof. Okay. So how many of you are on that gold trade? Um, that gold trade is a retracement trade, so you have to be very careful where you're taking a retracement setup. That was why I put it out there that it is a retracement trade. So you all have to be careful. When I mean careful, you have to like protect your chart, your trade very, very closely before we get into what we're doing for today. When it moves out, you break even fast. You basically protect your chart. All right. Going first. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start our class almost immediately. You guys know how we do it, right? Basically, we get into the chart, we look at what we have for the week, and then after I give you guys my setups, I take a few setups from you guys, and then we look through it. And you know that most times these are our setups that we always look at. They always play out really nicely. So usually don't I would say don't take this lightly because it's also a learning process for you as well. How I analyze, how I see the market basically, and then you can also take advantage of some of the setups yourself. So you guys know usually my classes, my trading day starts on Tuesdays, right? But sometimes on Mondays, if I get good setups, I also take. Now, yesterday, I don't know, for some reason, yesterday I would have ended my trading week just from yesterday, Monday trades, because the market gave so many opportunities that I missed out, and I was so mad at myself, so pissed. I mean, because I saw so many A plus setups that I missed out, or even some that were sent to me because I was so busy on one crazy stuff that at the end of the day, it was not fruitful for me. So when I compare the whole thing, like I missed out on very sweet trades that I would have taken if I was on my chart, and the stuff that kept me busy, kept me away from my chart because I was like, it's Monday, yeah, was not fruitful at the end of the day. So it was a very, very tormenting day for me. Seeing all the setups playing out on Euro USD, on gold particularly. I'm going to show you guys that. So we're going to look for how we can get re-entries on gold, on silver, on BTC as well. And also the one that moved out on Euro USD currency pair. It's just so crazy, guys. But as you know, when the market moves and you miss out on some good setups, what you should always know is that there's going to be more, setups that will come, right? if you miss one, does not mean that that's the end of the world. It's just that yeah, it can be really painful when you miss some really really good setups because A plus setups don't always show up like that. Don't always show up like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We will move on from that, and more setups will definitely come. That's the most important thing. Stay tuned and just relax and wait for extra setups to come into place. All right, so let's get straight to the chart now. We're going to start with gold. You guys know gold is the main thing, right? So we're going to start with gold, and then we'll break down to other currencies as well. Okay. All right, so I'm going to head into the chart now, and then we'll start with our gold setup, right? Now, I hope we're breaking even on that gold. You see, it's already spiraling back up. Let me switch to the gold chart. Where's my share screen? All right, so this is where we are right now. So I'm going to start breaking down from the setup that I missed. It was a very clear setup, and I feel like if you understand my strategy and trading with me, you ought to have picked up on that trade. You ought to have picked up on that trade. It was a very clear and glaring setup, very very glaring setup. Now, where did that trade come from? Look at it here. This breaker block entry. It was very as clear as daylight, guys. Because I've always said this. One of the entries that corresponds so well with gold is breaker block. Gold does not joke with breaker block, and also a top tier secret where you're trading gold. Gold does not joke with 1 hour order blocks, be it an order block or be it a breaker block. When you spot a glaring position on 1 hour time frame, even if the market would break past it, maybe does not respect that order block or something, you would always see a reaction that can give you an ample amount of pip. And every reaction on gold is powerful. Every reaction on gold is some good move, 50 pips, 60 pips, 40, just a small reaction. And then when you get a big move out, you're getting close to, let's say, 100 pips, 200 pips from gold. So that is why I said, whenever you see a 1 hour time frame order block, be it an order block or a breaker block, the market usually reacts to it. And most importantly, when we have a glaring, breaker block just like this one. Now I saw this, but the problem was that I did not put a pending order on this. So let's analyze this chart again briefly. So let's start from the higher time frame here, from the daily down to the weekly time frame. Now the whole move was this. For last week, we had all these sales, this massive sale happening on gold, right? Coming down towards this lower support area. So I have this mark down here, and then right now we are pushing to the upside. So gold is on a very bullish move. That was why I said that setup I dropped. I was like, this is a retracement trade, right? Whatever you're doing when you're trading a retracement trade, you should always be careful, like breaking even very fast, taking out, securing profit as fast as you can because you are trading a retracement, right? It can as well give you profit, but you just have to be careful because you are not trading on the trend. Because generally, we can see that gold has finished its lower leverage move. It's now responding to a new what do you call it again? A new trying to create a new high, right? In the sense of giving you a new impulsive move. So all of this move was a correction to the downside. We try to get in, try to get some entries, but some hits TP, some hit SL, and then market has come down to the lowest point of support, which is this area on the daily time frame, and have pushed out. It has dished out a very massive impulsive move. This is a daily time frame, remember. So if you switch this down to the 4 hour time frame, now this is what we have on the 4 hour time frame, right? So this is the last point of support, as you can see, the last order block here, which the market came on reacted to. So if I push this like this, I can restructure this, yeah, like this. So this is what we have, right? The last order block, the last structure that we have. So now you can see the massive impulsive movement. Sometimes I say that the candles will always speak to you. The candles will always tell you what the market is doing. So when you have this massive impulsive move like this, it's already giving you the idea that the structure is changing generally. I mean, we had so many impulsive moves to the downside, impulsive moves to the downside, and now we're having a shift in structure, right? Going to a bullish market. But then again, even if you missed out on this buy, because a lot of people missed out on this buy, trust me, and because maybe we felt like the momentum was still very strong, the market was still going to be selling, the impression of the sentiments was giving us more sales, more sales. So a lot of people might miss out on this. But then again, the most interesting thing that happened is that it gave us a re-entry while it was going to the upside, right? So the first major push that we had on this gold was this one, two candles. Obviously, since the trend is down, as at this point, since we were selling to the downside, okay, yeah. So since we're selling to the downside, every order block representing sell was a very important order block, right? So in this structure now, obviously there's an order block here that tells us the market wants to sell because we're already in a downtrend. So for us to see this massive force, price did not even react, did not flinch on the 4 hour time frame. It broke right past through it. That is a what? A precise or a decision breaking order block, and it was violated. So yeah, obviously this becomes a breaker block. Now, let's shift it down to the 2 hour time frame for clearer, distinctive move, right? Now, this move happened. You can see even on the 2 hour time frame, there was no precision at all, no stop, no small time frame reaction, nothing. The market just broke past it. Now, the moment the market broke past it, where we would have had issues was if our inducement liquidity touched it. But here is where we have our inducement liquidity. How do we come about this inducement liquidity? After the break of structure to the upside, the first pullback is this particular candle. Let me show you clearly, right? So this is the wick that pulled back. Naturally, we're supposed to see this wick pulling back into the structure, but it stopped right here. So this is our inducement liquidity, right? And then from there on, the market moved away. Now, what happened next? It was very glaring. So the first thing we saw was this market giving us a pull back into the structure. That was New York session yesterday. Around 2 p.m. exactly, this market dropped into the structure and then started new move. So right now we are on a new impulsive move. Yes, we still have imbalances here, we still have structures here, but I always say this: whenever there is a breaker block that is glaring in your face like this, the first reaction is always going to come from that breaker block. And if at all the market is still going to break and come down, you must still have powerful moves, right? That will keep you up to the upside. So going forward now, after this move, there was another re-entry that presented itself on the smaller time frame, which I also missed out on. Now let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Let me break this down a little bit. Let me break this down a little bit. So on the 30-minute time frame, you see this pullback. Okay, I think it happened more on the 15 minutes. That's where we can see it clearly. Yeah, on the 15 minutes. So this was like another re-entry, another A plus setup. So let me just point it out so that you can see it clearly, right? Where do we have it? Right here, and we have this bigger structure right here. So yeah, this was the second re-entry. Although some people must have missed it or may not even see it clearly, but yeah, that was a re-entry. And after that, and after that, we have the next push all going forward. So now I was just trying to give you guys a breakdown of what happened in the past and what we missed out, right? So the next thing is how do we join it? Because we do know that this market is going to come back and give us another re-entry, right? Because we're already on a bullish phase right now. So what we need now is how to get back into this trade since we've already missed about two major setups that would have gotten us, very good pips in the market. So now I'm trying to get what a re-entry into the buy continuation, right? So how do we do that now? From here, I always like to look at my entries from a 1 hour time frame order block, right? So I have a very glaring sweet order block looking standard here on the 1 hour time frame, right? Remember, we have a lot of imbalance here that the market might come down to. This is another FVG right here. But we're going to be working with this major one first. Why? Because of what? We already have a break of structure here. which is like a structural shift as well to the upside. So now I've created a new impulsive move. This is my first major re-entry. So now the reason why I called out this sell from here is because now we've already given out a new impulsive move, right? And most times after impulsive move comes correction. So the market will always look to correct a little bit before it continues its buy. That was why we're trying to get a re-entry, a sell entry from this zone. And this zone has an order block here. If you drop down to 45 minutes, I think 30 minutes or so, yeah, you will still see the order block looking staple right here. Now, if you look above it again, we have another order block right here. But why am I using this one right now? I'm using this entry because we have this engineered liquidity just around here. Let me draw it with this engineered liquidity, then engineering liquidity for this order block. That's the reason why I'm taking this sell from here. And this sell, like I said, guys, it is a very short sell. Now I'm putting it down here because this is where I'm expecting this buy to come to. In fact, somewhere around here. But the truth is that I may not really hold my sell all the way down here. I can take profit from this zone because market will definitely react. Remember, we're in a bullish phase, so the market can even use this little order block you're seeing here to continue moving. Right? It can give us something like this, and continue moving to this zone before we start this major drop all the way down here. It's a very, very possible outcome that can happen. So that's the reason why I always say when you're trading a retracement trade, you should always be careful with how you hold for so long, because I mean this is a retracement trade. We are trading against the trend right now. So take what you can and leave the market until the market actually comes to our valid area of interest, which is this point right now. All right, so we can just adjust this a little bit. Then if I break this down to smaller time frame, yeah, so we can adjust it. So this is our major point where we will be waiting for gold to come down to. That's our next swing point, a major swing point. Although we still have gaps. The problem is this: gold will give you so many key zones. This is another key level. But the good thing about it is that market will always react to these key levels and give you something reasonable. Now, give citing another example on this is this particular sell, this buy that I took yesterday. So this was like the only trade I took yesterday. I took a buy from here, knowing the fact that we're still gonna have a sell. If you notice, this was where my TP was, right? So it was like a short buy. I took this buy from this particular zone here. The market will always react to those key levels, regardless of the fact that it's going to break it afterwards. It will react, and those reactions, because it's gold, they are still powerful. This gave me about 190 pip yesterday before I took my profit out, and then this whole sell happened. So yeah, so this is this on gold. The first and the major place I'll be waiting for gold to come to is this zone right here on my 1 hour time frame. It's all good. Right. So for gold, if you're still holding, be careful with your hold. Don't over get too excited and try to want to hold this gold all the way down here. It's going to be crazy because New York session, when New York session comes in, we're going to have two types of reaction. It's either, so what I'm going to do now, I'll just adjust this for us so that you don't have the mindset of trying to hold. So this is a pretty short trade. Now remember, we have another zone right here above this. If you come to the 15 minutes, you will see it clearly, right? So all these are zones that the market will react to. So yeah, New York session is going to give us a different pull. So if we're holding this for London session, before New York session comes out, you should be out of this trade and take whatever you see from the market. And then we're going to wait for this session. So New York session, we're going to see more move. It's either we're going to sell from here or this market is going to give us a drop. It's going to be that two possibilities on XAU USD. So that's that. And the next pair I'm going to be looking at is um sorry, are you guys still with me? Are we together? Please let me know in the comment section if you're still with me. Because I feel like my screen was freezing. We're gonna go to XAG Please let me know. Are you still with me? Please let me know in the comment section. Type it, please, if you are still connected, because I feel like my screen is frozen. All right. So let's get to silver. Silver. Now, see, there's something about these pairs here, this particular asset. You see gold, you see silver, you see BTC. These assets will give you fast move, fast profits. They don't waste time like that. But if you're not comfortable trading, assets like this, especially as a beginner, trade currency pairs. Build, your grit with currency pairs before you jump onto pairs like this. Personally, even silver, I just recently started trading silver, and the reason why I started trading silver is because I discovered that silver actually have good price action, right? When it comes to the strategy that I use, silver works pretty good. It follows, order block setups, FVG setups very precisely, and it respects structure very nicely. The only thing about silver is that it is aggressive. I mean, the pip count is very high. It's much higher than gold. So imagine if you cannot contain gold, you're trying to contain silver, and if you have small accounts, all these $50, $100 account, please stay away from pairs like that. Yeah, look for currency pairs and trade, except you want to flip. If you want to flip silver, gold, those are good currencies. Those are good assets, metals that you can use when it comes to flipping. Now, for silver, I had this set. This was last week actually, but I did not hold down to TP because it was weekend already. The market started becoming very choppy after the activation, so it was a very good thing. Now let me show you guys some. This is the reason why I say silver actually works with. It works with structure very well. Like it follows structure precisely. Let me show you a couple of examples, right? Just from the previous things. Now look at this structure here. This is let's go back to the 1 hour time frame. Just like on gold, silver also follows that 1 hour structure properly, right? So look at this order block here. So I had two order blocks. This was the first position. Now see how the market came and tapped into this order block and gave a peak. So I took out my profit somewhere around here because I mean it started getting choppy. I just closed out. It was already Friday, right? And then the TP came exactly on. See where I set my TP on this particular order block, right? Now, also you notice here that there was a breaker block. That is this one. If you check, this market also respected this breaker block. This was the breaker block that gave rise to this next move. So you can see that order blocks, breaker blocks, precision, the market follows the structure properly. Go and do your back testing on silver. You will see what I'm talking about. Because of time, I'm not going to go into other structures, but just this one is showing you the same thing. Now, when this market got activated, my TP was here. That is the open of um, this particular order block, right? That was not mitigated. Now, see how the market came after opening a gap. It started right from this particular position and move forward. Then we now got a better position right here. Entry, sorry, we got another entry right here to the upside. However, I missed this one. Now, just like gold, it gave a re-entry right around here, and this one was even cleaner than that one we saw on gold. Now, let me show you the setup. I think it happened on 15-minute time frame. Now, these are all the setups I told you guys that I missed yesterday. Now, this is our typical A plus setup, right? You have this break of structure here, um, market giving you this liquidity from here, just like this, and then bam, market drops into this order block area, right? So you have two break of structures. This is the first one right here, and this is the second one right here. Yeah. So what next? You see the inducement move, market drops down, straight, activates, and powerfully move. Now, let's go to the higher time frame. So these are all past data, right? Let's go to the higher time frame and now check where is going to be our next re-entry. Where is going to be our next re-entry? This order block, right? So this one is done and dusted. It has been mitigated both partially and full body, right? This is the full body mitigation. So this is going to be our next entry point on silver. this cell right here. So we put our stop loss just above it, entry right here, put this like this, and we're going to drag this all the way to this zone. Now this is the next order block to give us the next potential push to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting on silver. Now this is the same reason why I'm talking about that gold cell that we are on. Yeah, because these guys, they move very, very much. That gold cell is a cell that we're not supposed to even be holding at this point. So if you see any profit, I would suggest that we just take out our profit and exit the market and just wait, since we've already missed out on major moves. So let's just wait for a major move to happen, right? So if you're still in your profit, just take out your profit and then just wait. New York session, I believe this is where we're going to see this actually playing out, because we're going to see New York session giving us um, call it a manipulative move before the main move starts happening. And again, while this I'm having strong confidence in this particular setup is because we've had our buy impulsive move already. So the market will be waiting for a proper correction to happen. And when the proper correction is setting in, you can see that we're already having like a rising wedge heading to this particular second entry, right? So yeah, by New York session, we should see a push to the upside, mitigating this zone for a sell. Regardless, this sell is still a correction. So the major move we're going to be waiting for is this 1 hour order block. Remember, 1 hour order block is always a precision move with gold and with silver. So you can set up your sell limit or do it on your chart, or let me just drop the coordinates for this one. But I always prefer you do it yourself. It's going to save us some time, right? Sell limit. Sell limit uh, at 77.16. Then our SL is going to be at 77.606. Then let's say TP1, so that we can make it easier for some people. TP1, to get our TP1, I'll have to come to a lower time frame. I'll have to come to a lower time frame. Let's say 30 minutes, so 15 minutes. So TP1 is going to look something like this. When you want to take your first profit, it's going to be this point. Why this point? This is the low. This market definitely reacts to this low, or even this order block that is here. Let's come to the 5 minutes. Yeah. So we're going to leave that as our TP1. TP1 is going to be 76.54. Yeah, 76.54. So TP2, you hold till you're exhausted. All right, so it's going to be like 75.54. All right, so this is probably what we're going to see when New York session comes into play. So what we can do now is to wait. Wait. So we want to see a sell bringing us down to this point, just like we saw on XAUSD gold, right? The reason why we're selling that gold is because we want to sell down to buy. Remember, the trend is still bullish. We're still very much bullish. So when we get entries, when we're in our sell, we should just be mindful and conscious of holding our positions. So the next pair I'm going to be looking at is let's check out BTC first. Are we clear on this one? I'm not on the sell of. Okay. Let's check out BTC. BTC is next. Okay. All right. So this is BTC. No, no, no. I'm not on the sell for. I'm only on gold. I'm not on silver yet. I'm waiting for silver from top. So yeah. Okay. So this is BTC now. Let's go to a higher time frame. Now BTC have been dropping massively. Now there's something I want to point out here, right? So let's look at this projection from the weekly time frame. I want to show us something so that we get a very clear idea of what is happening. From the weekly projection here, obviously, BTC has been dropping since November last year. We've been seeing this drop since November, since October rather last year. Yeah, October last year, this market has been dropping massively. Now, when you're on a downtrend, normally the market will always be giving you any small pullback. The market can drop. It may not get to your area of interest properly. It uses, like in this situation now, you're seeing a breaker block entry, right? A breaker block is what this market reacted to right here, and this is the reason why we're having this massive sells to the downside. And now, if you come back to the lower time frame. But before we even get to the lower time frame, you see this order block area we have here. This is probably the next zone that this market is coming down to, but this is very far, right? So let's look at the basic structures that the market is working with right now. From the daily time frame, all this is the origin of this massive impulsive move. And yes, we have another structure here that the market is supposed to get to, but it hasn't gotten there yet. So now, what is happening is that if you look closely, there are a lot of order blocks. There are a lot of areas of interest that the market is taking out, right? So the market initially was creating a series of higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, and it left a lot of order blocks unattended to. Now, when this structure changed at this point, now if you check closely here, a lot of these zones that you see me draw here are all zones that the market is reacting to based on smaller time frame order blocks. So if you're looking at this now, a lot of us will want to buy from this zone. Okay, come to the next zone, buy from here to push back because we know that we are still bullish. But the truth is that this structure has shifted. And when the structure shifts like this, when you have something like this, let me draw it so you can see clearly. Right? When you have things like this going, market created an order block. It did not get to that order block, it moved away. It did not get to this one and moved away. For some reason, when this market shifts structure, right, and starts dropping, now all these order blocks are points where a lot of SMC traders will be looking to buy from majorly. But the real truth is that these order blocks now, most of them will become liquidity because there's liquidity behind those order blocks. People are trying to buy from there because they are seeing, okay, it is unmitigated, it is in line with the trend, let me buy from there. But we will continuously get taken out because this market is sweeping all this as a trend line liquidity coming down towards the last point of support. That's the origin of the move that started this whole thing. So this is the origin of where this market is coming down to now. So if that is the case, this is what we're going to be seeing, right? Does not mean that we cannot be getting some buy setup. It only means that any buy you're getting is going to be restricted. It's going to be like a short buy because this market is stripping out all these liquidities until we get to this final zone. So here's the big deal now. When you drop down to 4 hour time frame, this is what we're going to be having. Yeah, on the 4 hour time frame, you see all the other blocks are going to be respected, but they're going to be taken out fast. See this one right here, a zone. The market got respected it, but took it out really fast, right? You see this other block area of interest that I got. Yeah, this one got a good entry. So basically, what you're going to be doing now, if you want to take positions on this kind of situations, first of all, I'm going to see something like this. This is an impulsive move coming down here. Market is reacting to a breaker block. This is an opportunity to buy, right? But this buy is going to be short-lived because yeah, you're going to get a pullback. Before you know it, this market is going to drop. Next is going to be this zone. We have another order block here. So we're going to have market coming down to this again, buy, and then still drop down again because the major move is from this last point of interest. That's why we're going to get a major push to the upside before even the market decides to drop more, right? But for now, what we can be doing is to be capitalizing on the small moves and then moving in line with the trend, because basically the trend is down now, is selling. So this next phase now that we are on, this is what I'm expecting on gold, on BTC. There is a breakout block here. If you can look closely, we have a breakout block here that the market is reacting to. However, I want to see on a lower time frame a structural shift, because I mean we're trading against the trend right now, right? So we need to see a structural shift that will push this market up to sweep out all this liquidity. Then if you go back to the 4 hour time frame, this is the most viable place that this market can come back to, right? We have an order block here, and I'll tell you why this is going to be the major order block. And then we will have this market reacting to this zone as well, because the trend is still very strong to the downside. So any slight move into this area, the market can use it as an excuse to drop. So we're going to have something like this. We're expecting a push to the upside to either this zone or into this zone. However, we cannot take any trade now until we see a structural shift on the lower time frame, which is like our 15-minute area of interest. Now you see the market is already reacting. If you want to be aggressive on this, then yes, you can easily, take your trade from here. I mean, this is a breakout block setup, right? You can take your trade from here to be aggressive, and put your stop loss right below it, and then you buy all the way to this zone. This is going to be a good setup for an aggressive entry, right? Now, for a more conservative entry, you would want to wait on probably 15 minutes or even 5 minutes to see a structural shift. Yeah, a structural shift in the sense that, okay, we have this high and this low. You want to see this market break above it, then give you a retracement back into it. So for the aggressive entry, you can also put your stop loss just below here. Good. So this is it. If you want to go aggressively, this is where we can get our entry. You can enter now, buy now. That's for the aggressive entry. Buy now, and then put your stop loss just below here, and then you have your TP points. This is going to be like your first TP point, where you're having like a 1:1.5, your second TP point, and if you can hold to break above to this point, that's fine. But this is our buy now aggressive entry, right? And the reason why we're taking this buy is because of what? The higher time frame breakout block that we saw. Let me show you guys that again. This breakout block entry right here. We've had this first reaction, second reaction. So yes, I'm expecting a push up from here, and then yeah, that's the breakout block entry, and we wait for price to shift and give us a momentum to the upside. Basically, so most importantly, this is the sell zone that you should be waiting for price to come to. This sell zone has an order block stipulated, and then we have FVG somewhere around here. We have inducement liquidity, right? Inducement liquidity here. So this is a prime place for a sell continuation. However, we can get buys that will push us all the way into this particular zone. All right, so that's that on what they call it again, on BTC, right? Yeah, on BTC. Okay, so these are the three major pairs: XAUSD, gold, silver. We're still waiting. I think gold was the one I sent. Silver, we are waiting. BTC, you can get in aggressive entry. This is an aggressive entry, but you can get in now and then put your stop loss just below, and then see how the price enters. Then I think we have something again on currency pairs. Okay, this one was a missed setup that I had. This is USD card. The market missed out on it. I think we have something on USD card as well. Missed entry. Yeah. So we have a sell limit entry. I'm not going to explain much on this one. It's a sell limit entry. I will just drop the coordinates for us. So the market is actually the bullish trend. We're just trying to take a short sell on it. If you go to the daily time frame, we're seeing a very frenzy reaction on this particular area for a short sell, right? So this is the coordinates. Let me just drop these coordinates for you guys. We have inducement liquidity here. We have another engineer liquidity that we have this order block that's in the protected swept liquidity, market shifted structure here, giving us like a range around this zone. So yeah, this is the reason why we're going to take this trade here. So it's a pretty much 1 is to 3.5, which was 16 pip SL. So let me drop the coordinates for this one. Sell limits order. At 1.3859. Then SL is at 1.3875. Then TP is at 1.3808. 1.3808. Yeah, so this is the coordinates for USD card currency pair. So let me share this again. Euro USD was another crazy move that we missed out on yesterday. I think even one of my boy better sent me this, but let me show you guys the move. It was a very, very crazy move. Euro USD. It was this practically a crazy A plus setup. I mean, if I believe some people actually saw this and took advantage of it. This is a very, very sweet A plus setup. One break, market engineered liquidity, order block, inducement into that place, and then market pushed up. Pretty much it. So that's pretty much what we have now. So let me take your setups, pairs that you want us to look at. We still have like 20 minutes to look at some more setups. But these are my setups for today, for this week. And let's see how that goes. So you see how gold is moving. You know why I say this is like a retracement trade, and it's moving slow, pacey, slow, London session. And you guys know that most times it's New York session that will give us that crazy move. New York session. So take what you can from this and then wait for the New York session move. That's the most important move. This is just a retracement move. So let me get what you guys have, which pair you want me to check out for you quickly. Yeah, GBP JPY. Let's check out GBP JPY and AUD JPY. But let's start with GBP JPY first. GBP JPY. Yeah, Monday. Like when I said I would have finished trading for the week that Monday, I really meant it to. Yesterday I had a one-on-one session with one of my students, and we talked about this pair, this entry right here. I showed him. I think when we were in that class, the market was somewhere around here, so we projected this entry right here. Um, I think I will need to reach out to him to know whether he actually took this trade. We projected this entry right here. Buy on a breaker block setup. Do you see how powerful breaker blocks are just given sweet, sweet setups, right? So let me explain this setup quickly before, you know, a very sweet one. So we have this break of structure here. Market broke out from this. Now this is our inducement, right? So I will take this as the major inducement move, right? This is the inducement liquidity. So this is the first pullback. This is how the pullback got to before mitigating this area of interest. So this is your inducement pullback, right? So when you have something like this, the reason why I'm not even using this one is because this is market's displacement from weekend, when the market closed on a Friday and opens on a Sunday night, right? So this was what happened for it. So that's why I'm not even using this one. I'm using this as my inducement liquidity. And then this market pushed up and left this space, this order block here, area unmitigated. And then what happened? Most times, if you notice, when the price is coming down to take, an area of interest, it will always come with force. Look at this candle coming with massive force. And this force does two things. Number one is an inducement. Number two, it scares traders away. Sometimes it used to scare me before, when I started understanding this strategy. When I have a pending order here and I see how market is coming with so much force, I used to delete my order. I'll delete it. I'm like, ah, man, this thing wants to sell. Before you know it, it will just pause on that your area and move. We saw it happen on gold. We saw it happen on Euro USD. This is the same thing happening on GBP JPY. Massive move. Breaker block entry. Now, um, I'm going to be organizing. I'm going to drop a flyer, more information on it this week, where I'm going to be organizing a strategic um, mastery settings on classes, right? On entries, the strategy model breakdown, psychology, basically how to scale up as a trader and how to stay consistent. Because I believe I've seen reason why many of us have been trading. You understand the charts very well, you can analyze charts, but you are not getting set up, so you are not making profit, you're just stagnant, right? That's one of the things we want to tackle there. And I'm going to still talk about more on this strategy precisely. So when I'm ready with that, I'm going to drop more information on the Telegram so that anybody who wants to join in can take advantage of that. So meanwhile, let's get back to our analysis on GBP JPY because something very interesting is happening here, right? So now let's go. Let's start from the daily time frame. Now from the daily time frame, we are bullish, right? And the market has done a massive correction, and now we are on the impulsive trajectory. So this is the next zone that the market is heading to right now. And this order block is a very, very powerful one because I mean this was where we had that liquidity sweep before this massive drop. So it is more like what we call a protected high. And in the concept of AMD, right, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, this is where the distribution actually starts. So regardless of the fact that this is an uptrend market, we are still going to definitely have reaction here that will pull some price down. And the reason why I'm saying this is because now you can see the rate, the way this market is pulling up, right? Creating high, low, highs, coming to this place, and it's already slowing down. This is the last impulsive move that is pushing price into this. So this reaction can give us something like this. We can have this market pulling up to this zone and then start a new drop because of the reaction that we're going to have from here down towards this order block area of interest for us to have a continuation, something like this. Mark this. This is a very, very high probable setup that's going to happen. Now you see this place, we have this order block, we have this inducement here that never touched it, creating FVG, creating an unmitigated order block. So this is a very potential place where this price will come to, and this is the only thing that can push this price down to this zone for us to see this move here. So now we are trying to walk our way to this sell zone. This is a daily time frame sell zone. You cannot just put a pending order here to sell. You have to wait for the market to give you a change, a shift in structure before you start selling, right? So now we're just looking for buys to walk our way into this zone. So let's come down to the 4-hour time frame. This is the same analysis I did with my students yesterday. Now we have gotten that breaker block push and market is moving. So right now we're still going to be looking for ways to join in on this buy that will push us into this zone. Remember, you always have to look to the right and see what is actually happening. Here we have a breaker block, and that is what the market is reacting to. This breaker block right here. Now, this particular area, let me delete this. This particular area, we have this touch, but this is more like what they call that touch again. A mitigation, a partial mitigation. So yes, there's still possibility for a full body mitigation. So this breaker block can still push price for us back into this zone for a re-entry. So what I'm going to do now is to look for that re-entry position. You can see that we're already seeing a sell, happening. This can be a very good sell position, judging from that breaker block. But me, I'm not going to enter this trade. It's a short sell. For those who want to aggressively trade, this is another entry for yourself. This is another sell entry. Once this candle closes, you can take advantage of this. This is a 2-hour candle. When this candle closes, let me see what it looks like on the 1 hour. Yeah, when this candle closes, you can get a sell. You can get a sell entry right down to at least even this zone. Where is this sell coming from? Remember, it is coming from this breakout block. So yeah, this is a good point for you to get a sell entry. Now, why I'm driving it all the way down here is because we can get another buy entry that will push us into that daily time frame order block. So I'm looking at something like this: a sell down here and a buy into the zone before we see our major move. So for the person that called out GBP JPY, you can get a sell right now. The moment your 1 hour candle closes, your 2 hour, if you're using the 2 hour, which is looking more precise, it's going to be something like, or if you want to wait for a more conservative entry, when this closes, you can wait for a 50% pushback into the structure here. 50% like this. And then you put your stop loss just above this for a sell down to this zone here. Yeah. GBP JPY. Chisom, are you there? Did you get that? And for every other person following up. Okay. All right. Are we together? Then we're gonna check GBP AUD JPY now. AUD JPY. I'm done with GBP JPY. You have a sell set up here, but just wait for this candle to close, then give you a little bit of a pullback. Let's see what that pullback is going to look like. Yeah, you see, if you go to the 15-minute time frame, this pullback corresponds. This is what I'm talking about. 50% area. See how the 50% area corresponds with this order block right here. So you can even shift it all the way up here like this. This is where you get your re-entry. This is where you get your re-entry. This right here. This is where you get your re-entry for GBP JPY. All right, so let's check AUD JPY. Ah, wow. AUD JPY. Last Tuesday, we analyzed AUD JPY. I don't know the same person. Are you the same person that asked me last Tuesday for AUD JPY? I think all your setups played out. The ones that I pointed out for you, the setups played out. All of them, they gave good profits. This was the first zone for AUD JPY. It sold. This was the second zone for AUD JPY. It sold. Now, yesterday during my one-on-one session with my students, we did this as well, this buy here. And currently, this is where we are. The market has moved out. So, in continuation, let us see what the market is going to be doing next. Okay, so from the 4 hour time frame, obviously, we're seeing a bullish move. Let me delete all of this. Let me just delete all of this so we start it again because I don't usually throw this pair like that. So yeah, we have this order block mitigated proper from the 4 hour time frame. Now we have broken structure. Basically, once we have a good candle closure above this, excuse me, once this closes properly above here, we have a clean break of structure, and this is the origin of that break of structure. So we might see a very good push back into the zone here. Let me see what it looks like on the daily time frame. Okay, the daily time frame is not looking nice, choppy and all. So yeah, this internal order block has been mitigated. So we still have an area of interest deep inside this zone. Having this 1-2 break of structure does not mean price cannot come back here. It definitely can, especially when we have a sweep and fall back into the structure, then you will see the market dropping all the way back into the zone. So for the ultimate buy now, we're going to be looking at this lower zone here. So let's see smaller time. Let's break it down and see. Okay, yeah. So we have an order block set up here. Very good. 1 hour time frame, the same thing. 45 to 30 minutes. Absolutely. So I'm going to be sticking to the 1 or the 2 hour order block here. So this is done and dusted. So what I'm going to be expecting is that these guys here are going to be serving as liquidity. Yep. So you can reinforce this a little bit like this, and then you're going to be getting yourself a nice long setup from this zone. The boring thing about my strategy is that you're going to be waiting for a very long time. Not really a long time, but you're going to be waiting. But that does not mean that you cannot still apply this same strategy on smaller time frames. So I'm going to be expecting a structural shift. Let me see a drop. Once that drop starts happening here, then I'll to confirm that yeah, we're going to locate this particular area, this POI right here for the next solid move. So if you want to be joining sales from here, that's up to you because it's going to be like retracement kind of sales, right? But the major move you should be expecting is from this particular buy zone here. Chisom, which of this buy have you been on? So lastly, let's do Euro USD before we end the class. We're almost done. Let's do Euro USD. Euro USD, where you okay, okay, okay. Why am I on a digit file? So let's do Euro USD. I think we touched Euro USD just now, but I didn't give any re-entry or anything. I just showed you guys the setup we missed. This was the setup we missed on Euro USD. This particular buy. So this buy also it's like a penny, not a penny, a partial entry buy. So the market has actually been ranging here, massive range. So let's first look at the dollar index so that let me get a clearer idea. Let's look at the dollar index first of all. Oh, the dollar index is ranging as well from daily. It's a massive range. So the market is ranging here, so there's no point. Let's just go back to the Euro USD. So since we have a ranging market now and it has not broken out, we're going to be working with all the possible POIs that the market is creating. Whenever you're in a ranging market like this, the market tends to respect order blocks very, very well, precisely. You see what is happening here? This order block got respected. This is another order block again. Right here got respected. That's the reason why you're seeing this drop here. So honestly, I'm not really seeing anything happening on this Euro USD again. I'm not seeing any particular setup or any sweeping. I can't tell you particularly buy here, sell here. Okay, let's break this down a bit. Let's go to a lower time frame and see if we're gonna have any buy setup. Okay, this place I marked this line here. Oh, okay, 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 okay. This is a potential. This is an order block area. This right here, an order block area of interest. POI because we have this engineer liquidity around it. But then let's go to 15 minutes and see. Okay, or 15 minutes, this is what it looks like. All right, so let me delete this. And on 5 minutes, that is still within 5 minutes. So let's use the 15 minutes. 15 minutes as our POI. Let's delete this. So this could be a possible entry. If you want a tight SL, it's going to be around 9 pip. If you want to be flexible, bring it up to around 15 pips right here. And then you're swinging up to this order block around here. So yeah, this is the best thing I can find right now on Euro USD. Although this is another point where this market will react to, but I'm not going to be comfortable getting a re-entry from here. I always like deep retracement areas, deep retracement areas. So let it come deeply into this point, and then you can have a potential buy. This is actually a potential buy from here, from this zone. So you can either aggressively or tight put your tight stop loss here, or you want to be a bit conservative and put your stop loss just below here. So yeah, I think there's something worth looking at here on Euro USD. Yeah, so I think that's about it. We have done okay. GJ is the one you said you've been holding that buy, right? Oh, good for you. Good for you. I think the only thing we're seeing is this gold that is still dropping. Um, I think Euro JPY. We are already out of time. Okay, I have 2 minutes. Let's check out Euro JPY and see Euro JPY. Okay, I don't have it here. Euro JPY is doing very very similar things to Euro USD. Very very similar outlook. Hmm. Wow. 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 Okay. Wow. Um, when this sell starts, it's going to be massive. Oh. This daily time frame zone. Yeah, so we have this on the daily time frame, and market is slowly moving, making its way up here. So we're creating highs and lows to this point. So let's drop down again. Ah, wow. The structure is very nice and clean. If you're trading this pair, I believe I see entries. Oh. This pair has been giving sweet entries. I mean, look at this now. Let's take this out. Start from here. So basically, market is making its way up to into this zone, right? That order block we saw. Now, this is one very sweet entry the market gave here. Look at your inducement liquidity. Look at your entry model. Give you this push. Finally broke structure. This is a retracement. Tapped on this. It gave us another entry right here. This is a 4 hour time frame. Oh. So break of structure. So we're basically looking for buys to continue, right, to get us to this place. So let's look for the next point this market will come to. 1 hour, 2 hours giving us this breaker block entry. And this is a very sweet breaker block entry, right? It's not even this. This is the breaker block entry here, but it's quite deep. So let's see the 1 hour time frame. Ah, clean. This has been properly mitigated on the 1 hour. So we really have nothing to do here. So our next zone is going to be anywhere from this point. So let's drop down again 30 minutes. This is proper mitigation. So the only thing we have here now is this particular area. Yeah, so this is the order block area. 15 minutes, the same thing. So yeah, we're going to be sticking to 30 minutes. Or let me see, 45 minutes. Yeah, let's use 45 minutes. So we're going to be sticking to this. And you have something like this. So yeah, this is what we're going to be having on USD JPY. This is the same thing like we said on Euro USD, right? Very tiny stop loss for conservative, for aggressive entry, and aggressive stop loss very tight. Then if you want to keep it conservative, 15 pip stop loss, and then you have your movement somewhere around here. So yeah, I think this is the potential move on Euro JPY. So you wait for your buys here, unless you want to be aggressive and then you want to enter from here. But this to me is a no-no. You wait for the deep retracement, you'll be more safe and more comfortable taking your buys right from that point. All right. I think this is about what we have for today. Um, we follow up on these setups I'm pretty sure that everything is going to pan out really nice. Trade with caution. Always remember to use your stop loss orders because I mean the market does not know you, will not pity you at any point in time. Right. Um, some of the setups that we just took on our what do you call it again, on our Telegram channel, and then we follow up. If more setups come, I'm still gonna drop them for you guys on the Telegram. And get ready if you're ready to take on this new challenge with me, this new journey of getting yourself prepared and really, really understanding what you're doing on the chat. Then get ready to register for our new master's class. This is not for beginners, like I said. If you are a beginner still learning, basic support and resistance, candlesticks, no. This is for people who has already been trading, but have been finding difficulty in, scaling up, difficulty in being profitable. You are not consistently profitable, then this program that we're about to start is going to be for you, and it's going to be online so everybody can actually access it, even if you're not in Port Harcourt right now. Right, that being said, see you guys on our next class. Bye.